Morning. We are back with another American Knife Girl podcast. Today I have a special guest, Jordan, with me today. So Jordan's not only a customer, he also has some experience in the knife industry.
Couple years. For sure.
So we will be just kind of chatting and getting to know him a little bit more and his experience in the knife industry today. So you're not from Minnesota?
No, I am originally from Texas. Spent some time in Wisconsin and then back to Texas. It was a weird cyclical thing, but now I'm back. Midwest was calling. Here I am.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
You like the Midwest?
I love the snow. I've been getting calls 115 degrees. No thanks. I'll take 75, 80 with a breeze.
I could take either, just depending on the time of the year.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But okay, so when you were in Texas, you worked for a gun and knife store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nagel's in San Antonio. It is the premier knife spot in South Texas. Spent a lot of time there. Well, I spent a couple years as a customer, then a couple years as sales, and then worked my way up to a sales manager, which was fun. I got to end up talking to a bunch of different distributors and kind of pulling in some quality stuff so everybody in the area could be exposed to a little greater quality than your typical frost cutlery you might get as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what brought you into the knife gun world to begin with?
So, always had a fascination with pocket knives. I had a neighbor when I was a kid that was very adamant that you always had to have a knife on you. So anytime I would go over to his house, much to the chagrin of my parents, I'd come back with a new knife or some new piece of gear. And then eventually, once I got into high school, I actually started working at another knife store called Beckwith's in Houston, which no longer exists. But I kind of parlayed that, and that was my formative years. So I got real into knives to kind of a weird level where I knew steel compositions, and for a high school kid into college, it just makes you a nerd.
Yeah, it does kind of.
Yeah.
They have like what is that? There is a YouTube channel, and it's like, is it Knife Nerds? Is it
Knife Steel Nerds? I think
something like that. That get really into the steel. Where I'm like, I don't know the properties. I can tell you what steel something is if it says it on the knife,
sure.
But I'm not like, I don't know all the compositions or what makes it a good steel or anything. I probably should know that. 5 years in, I should probably know. There's so much to know.
Yeah.
Like, just even aside from brands and...
When you have a family, it makes sense that that's priority over compositions of steels.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a balance for sure.
Most definitely.
Do you remember what your first pocket knife was? Or what one of your earlier pocket knives?
I was a callback. It was a Frost cutlery. I want to say it was like a Falcon or something like that. Just this, almost like the old Schrade Skinners, kind of real thin, like foldy blade, little faux stag handle on it, and I thought that was the bee's knees. Had a Falcon laser etched on the blade, and I was carrying that around the woods. Mm-hmm. Huck Finn.
Did you ever take them to school and get in trouble?
Yeah. No, I definitely got caught more times than I would have liked, and it was never like salacious activity. It was always,
keeping a knife in your pocket like you've been told.
I felt that was the appropriate move.
My kids try to sneak them all the time. And like at the point where we're doing like pocket checks and backpack checks in the morning because they just think, well, you always have a knife. Yes, I do, but I don't go to school with it, so.
That's pretty cool though.
Well, it's not the 90s anymore. Like, 90s are like, oh, let's just take that off. Now we're like, well, you're suspended, so.
That's suspension for sure.
Yeah. So if the school is watching this, I'm sorry. But what are you carrying on you today?
So twofer, because one is none, two is one, right?
Yeah.
So always have some kind of a beater knife, not really. Microtech LUDT. Mm-hmm. My buddy Connor actually gave me this. It was just kind of a parting gift when I was coming up here, and you probably can't.
Some pocket wear.
Yeah, it's got some pocket wear. It's generally for sure the everyday. And then I'm a sucker for serial numbers. So
me too.
That, and I try to reward myself anytime an event happens or something is memorable. So I got my wife to go to the second Blade Show Texas. That was out of the Stockyard and the actual convention center.
I didn't go to the Stockyard one.
I didn't get to go to that one either. I wanted to, but so this was the ProTech Mordax. This was the Texas Blade Show special. So this is 99 out of 100. Matt was super cool. I think the first time I met him, I was a dealer. Then I came back and he recognized me off my watch, which was weird because I don't ball that
Matt
hard.
is a very watch person, so that makes sense.
But it's cool, full DLC, the little honeycomb, and then the mosaic button, which I'm a sucker for those.
Two great brands. So did you carry ProTech and Microtech then at Nagel's, or?
Yeah. So when I was at Nagel's, we already had Microtech that had been around for some time. ProTech is a much harder market to break into. They're very selective, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
So I started the email blast, and it got to the point where I showed up to Texas Blade Show. I ended up buying, like, I think the last day, whatever stock they had left, gave it to me.
Yeah.
Brought it back and then started to break that into the market. And then I just saw the other day, there's a banner that they had on the Nagel's website that they're now a ProTech dealer.
Oh, that's awesome. So I feel like that's how a lot of people have gotten into being ProTech dealers, is just by kind of like how you said, going and buying them out. And we've been lucky to be ProTech and Microtech dealers since the 90s. So
yeah, you guys got some time in for sure.
Yeah, and you build those relationships over time too, and that makes things a little bit easier. I'm also carrying a Microtech today. I have a pink Cerakote Ultratech, which this was kind of all of us girls have it. Like,
sure, I dig that.
We've got some friends that work at Microtech, and so one of them had like texted us a picture like, do you guys like these? What's up with them? And we're like, we should all get matching. So we all have these, and then we all have the Halloween knife matching.
Oh, okay, very cool.
So definitely, my only grievance with the Ultratech, it's too long for women's pockets. Like, these pockets are fine, but like jean pockets, I can't carry my Ultratech in. Yeah. And now I have too long of nails to like close it with one hand. So yeah. That's.
I totally get that. So my first knife boss, Mrs. Beckwith, she would get her pockets tailored so she could carry a full-size mag and a full-size knife. She was a big Emerson fan.
Okay.
I like the Ultratech. My first Microtech, my wife bought me the copper top UTX 85. So I have a fondness for that size.
Me too.
The Ultratech is great for a man-sized hand, but I think that the UTX, it's just always going to have a special place for me.
I like the size of the UTX 85. I love the new Mini Hera.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
That is my favorite, which I did see they just posted a couple days ago, American flag Mini Heras.
Oh, yeah.
And Jordan last night, he's like, I'm going to get you one of those. I was like, I'm going to be getting you. We can match then, because I want that. The Ultratechs are just, it's a great knife, just in all honesty, just too large for my pockets. So I don't have any UTX 85s though. I have mostly Heras.
Okay. Well,
which is what I'll probably stick to moving forward.
I'm trying to figure out now, because I know like the Hera is it's the baby of the smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I love the UTX 85, but the thing that I really like are the Spartan blades. Like the double edge, but with the hard triangle.
Yeah.
And that's what my copper top is. But
interesting. That's not a very like common. There we go. My brain's not working today. Not a very common blade style, although like Microtech does it well.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you can't go wrong with ProTech either.
No.
The Mordax, again, like a little too large for my hands, but the Malibu, perfect.
Yeah, and that I really, really wanted to like the Malibu, but it was sitting in my hand trying to flick it. I'm like,
you have larger hands.
Yeah, small fingers, big palms.
Yeah,
so
it makes a difference, like where the knife sits and everything for opening and closing, for sure. Yeah, well, I guess that's kind of, I don't know, where do you see the knife industry moving forward, or where do you see your position in the knife industry moving forward? I guess I don't even know what you do currently.
So currently, I actually work for the state. I work at ACE of 2. I am the security officer that protects the helicopters and National Guard.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty fun. I'm right up the road. I don't know. As far as where I go in the knife industry, I have a great state job. However, I have lots of time, and this has always been my passion. So I'll figure my way in somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like you've got a good start.
Yeah, I've
You
got
know people.
I've got some knowledge. I know some folks, but it's definitely it's moved past a hobby. It's more of a passion at this point.
Yeah.
Either educating people, giving people knives, and then seeing them in their pocket all beat down years later is probably my greatest joy, next to having my daughter.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool community. Meet a lot of great folks.
Yeah. What has been, so you said you've been to some blade shows?
I've been Blade Show, Texas exclusively. I am
Okay.
the Texas native. My wife and I have talked about, we never got a honeymoon.
Okay.
We talked about trying to do a honeymoon in Atlanta. Yep.
Obscure, but
Yeah. Well, so we went to Blade Show, Texas, and I was really trying to explain to her, I go, you've been to gun shows, knife shows are a different breed, you get different folks, and she actually thoroughly enjoyed it. So I said, well, the next step would be to go to like the Vegas, which would be Blade Show Atlanta.
Yep.
So
That's a whole other animal.
Yeah.
But Blade Show Texas is my favorite Blade Show. That's what I was going to ask you, was like, which is your favorite show? But if you've only been to that one.
Blade Show Texas, and then like some little, mom and pop style shows.
Have you gone to the Nashville show?
I haven't.
Blade Show Texas and Nashville are my two favorites. And I don't know if that just means I'm meant to be down south or what that means, but
I know the first year that they moved it into the convention center, because I was going for work, I tried to be professional. I got up at 4 o'clock and was down in line like number 6.
Oh my gosh.
And
you didn't have a dealer pass?
I didn't know about a dealer pass. It was literally like a spur of the moment.
Gotcha.
I talked to my boss and he was like, hey, I got you tickets, so do you want to go get a rental car and take off? I said, yes, thank you. So it was great. Yeah, I didn't think about a dealer pass. I just went. I wanted to go for myself and then pick up some stuff for the shop. So
nice. Yeah, dealer passes are definitely
no,
definitely important. You don't have to wait in line. Well, sometimes depends. And they're so strict. Like, I feel like Texas wasn't as strict as Atlanta is, because like I may or may not have. Hopefully they're not watching this, but I had my pass backwards and it was not a dealer pass, and I just like went in with a group of people.
Confidence.
Yeah, if you just carry some coffees and act like like I'm supposed to be here.
100%.
All about the confidence.
Maybe a little bit of brand wear and just stare straight ahead. You'd be all right.
Yeah. Just don't. I shouldn't advertise that.
Atlanta,
there's no chance of that happening in Atlanta. It is like, you don't have a dealer pass, you don't have an early bird pass, you're not getting in when you're not supposed to.
Yeah, it's fun to see all the pictures of like the weird miscreants that try to do stuff at Blade Show, and then it gets blasted all over Facebook.
Oh, are you specifically referring to this past Blade Show?
Yeah.
The Bally.
Yep.
The costume and stuff. Yeah.
Yep. I like cosplaying too in my spare time, but that was weird.
I just walked by. And I'm just praying to God that this person is
it's a certain group of folks.
Somewhat normal in a different normal than I am.
Sure.
Just, there's no bomb. Can you see?
It's not TSA. We're all good.
Okay. I don't know if you can. YouTube and Instagram already don't like me, so.
Just don't make like finger pews.
I have done that.
Yeah.
On Instagram. That's probably why they don't like me.
Yeah, you just can't say the G word very often.
Yeah. Well, I've never been one to follow the rules. So
good.
Well, I appreciate learning more about you and learning about your take on the industry, and what are you most excited for, like, moving forward? Like, so I'm trying to think of how to word this question. What in the knife industry are you most excited to see in upcoming, or do you have any ideas of what?
So what I guess what I would like to see, and what I would be most excited for, is with the availability of technology increasing, the amount of super steels that people are starting to produce. Right, Microtech has a proprietary version of M390 MK, which is pretty awesome. Spyderco has Spy 27. Getting to see everybody kind of have their own flavor. Like if we got to see, like, I don't know, Pro 154, right? They love 154.
Yeah.
it would be kind of nice to see everybody settle into their own flavors, and then maybe some new locks, right?
Some new
Dimco
locks.
kind of blows everybody out with, she's got shark locks and breaking barriers. I would like to see more deployability.
Okay.
I can only buy so many liner locks and then go, well, this one's cool because it's got an inlay. This one's cool because it's got some crazy steel nobody else has. I would hope for more innovation.
Okay,
That's
more innovation.
less, like copper was a big thing for a while.
But
right?
it was like Ultim, and yeah.
Which keep brake clean away from Ultim, and you're fine. Just
Why? What happened?
because it disintegrates. I myself didn't add brake clean. I've seen some horror stories. Not what you clean knives with. Compressed air, lube. Those are your best friends. Brake clean, very caustic, and it's plastic, so they don't go together.
Yeah. Well, I think I like even just like watching Microtech back in like December when they were unveiling like the Gen 3 stuff. I think we're gonna see a lot of innovation. We have the new manual TR3 from ProTech that
Yep.
they just brought. The Oligarch, like I think this year is gonna be a big year for innovation. So I would agree with that.
Yeah, the Oligarch, I was very, looks pretty neat. Did you get to touch the new zero stop?
The zero play.
Zero-
play.
yeah, the
So the
Ultratech?
Atrius or the Ultratech?
Well, either one would be
Yeah,
fine.
yep. I got to sit down with Ray and interview him, which was really cool experience too. And he said that moving forward, that's their plan is to move that zero play technology into knives moving forward. So I think they're definitely on the right side of things here.
Yeah, I think if Microtech gets that into all of their OTFs, that's going to be a major disruptor, right? The only zero play OTF that exists
The deadlock,
is a little cost
a
prohibitive.
little bit.
Very cool. I've got to handle a few of them. My wife would probably off me if I came home with one, but where you have a little bit more user price friendly in an Ultratech or something.
I'm interested to see what the new prices are going to be with the zero blade play. I think Ray said that the Ultratech will be slightly higher
Okay.
because they're doing price increases across the board.
Sure.
But like the Atrius, like how much is that gonna run?
Right.
You know?
But I would say like the Combat Trodons, the new Gen 3s, came down in price from
Right.
the original. So I mean, I think that was kind of a welcome surprise, and it comes in all kinds of neat flavors. So
And they're adding more,
Yeah.
more and more. Like every time I get an invoice, it's like, oh, we have these ones available, like colors, different blade styles,
For
different
sure.
blade washes. So they just like the Mini Hera, they just released the recurve. I want to see that in a single edge.
recurve and mini. I just really like the bayonet profile on the Mini here. I think it really sells it.
I have a Bayo, but I mean, useful. It's kind of like a
Doing a lot of stabbing with it? I don't think so.
yeah, right. Like I'm cutting Amazon boxes.
Yeah,
I would
that's-
like a single edge.
As we all are.
Yeah. So,
As we all are.
well, I would hope, unless like,
Yeah.
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 You never really know with people though. I don't know what they do in
Yeah.
their spare time.
Yeah. Get a fixed blade for your wet activities. Otherwise,
Yeah.
for your pocket jewelry and your cool stuff that you can collect with the friends, just cut Amazon boxes. Keep
Cut it.
yourself legal.
Target boxes,
Yeah.
Amazon boxes. That's why I can't live in the country. Amazon and Target, I don't think they deliver.
Yeah. My dad lives in like the western nowhere of Wisconsin, so he's like, oh yeah, I got this on Amazon. I go, cool. He's like, it took 4 days. Gross.
Yeah, I mean, I could do it as long as they delivered. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Country, put me in some land, give me a couple cows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to take care of cows, but
Yeah.
I'd figure it out.
As
As long as I got boxes to cut open, we're good.
Yeah.
So, I want to thank you so much for coming out today.
Well, thank you. I
I
appreciate
hope
it.
you come to our event in August.
I've requested work off already.
Perfect. Well, we'll see you then.
I'll be there.
All right. Have a great day.